Hey everybody, it's Javier with ODS Media, and today I want to share with you a mask that I've come up with over the course of this pandemic. Now, to be fair, it's a combination of a couple of different masks that are out there and a shortage of supplies. So when all you start adding all that stuff up, you kind of, make adjustments and go from there. So I first started out making these masks just like everybody with the elastic. You can see the elastic here, and it basically goes over your face and goes right over the ears. The problem is that sometimes it doesn't always fit. Sometimes your ears will flop forward, or the mask doesn't really sit well, or it gets uncomfortable after a while. I've heard a lot of different complaints about that. The next mask I started making was this tot style mask with the bias tape. All right, now this, you have to make this, or you can use ribbon, or you can use shoelace and all this other crazy stuff. Then you got to sew it together and then put it on your mask and do all that kind of stuff. So this takes a long time to make, and if you're trying to make it for friends and family, and if people want to buy a mask from you or whatever, that can take a lot of time to do. But today I wanted to share with you this mask that I came up with. All right, so this is my mask. I do have a pocket in here. You can make them with or without the pocket. Today I'm going to show you how to make it with the pocket. But this mask is super adjustable, and you can go on women, it can go on men, and it doesn't bother the ears. And let me just show you how quick it is to put on. You just put it on over your head, put it right under your chin, over the back, and that's it. It's on. So there you go. Make your little adjustments and it's on. Doesn't bother your ears. It's not on your ears. And on the back, there's a little cord here, a little cord stopper that you can cinch up if you need to. And when you're ready to just take it down, you just pull it, and you can either put it around your neck right here, or you can flop it forward, or you can just completely take it off. And that's it. You're done. So really nice design. I really like this mask. I've had a lot of people ask me for this mask to buy one. Just got done doing a huge order, like 50 masks for a daycare. I've done a couple of churches. I've done a couple of nonprofits, and I want to show you how to make this mask. It's really nice design, really super easy to make, and watch this video and I'll show you how to do it. All right, so the first thing you'll do is you'll find the cloth that you want to use, the pattern you'll want to use, and then you're going to cut it in 12 by 10, okay? And I also have a cardboard pattern here that I've been using when I've had to cut multiple patterns out, but otherwise you'll just cut a 12 by 10 pattern. All right, next what we're going to do on the 10-inch side of the cloth, we're going to go ahead and put a zigzag on the very end of this piece of cloth. We're going to do it on this end, and we're going to do it on the other end. So if you have a Brother sewing machine, you're going to want to make sure that your zigzag is all the way open, and that you're setting your stitch down here to the number 3. All right, and that's that zigzag pattern. We're going to go ahead and zigzag this side. I'm just going to put my cloth right here and give the wheel a turn just so that it comes towards me. And I'm going to make sure that the end of that needle goes right on the end of this cloth, or pretty close to it. If it doesn't catch it, that's okay. There you go. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's going to be hidden, but that's kind of what you want to see. So you'll do that to the other side. Do the same thing. Go ahead and feed it in. I'm using a black thread so that you can kind of see what it's doing. And there you go. So it's lining up the top. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and fold and put the two ends together. Put the two raw ends together over here. Make sure everything lines up. I'm going to move my setting back to do like a straight stitch. So that's my number 2 on this Brother. So that's a straight stitch, and I'm going to make sure that the stitch is all the way over at a 5 still, and that means that this needle is going to be all the way over on this side of the foot. So all I'm going to do is line up the raw edge of my cloth to the edge of the foot here, and the needle is going to be all the way on this side. So I'm using the things that are on my machine to guide the sew. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it, the cloth and go ahead and get one stitch in. And then I'm going to start with a reverse and then go forward. And then right when the cloth goes to about the back of my machine here, I can feel it kind of hanging off the edge. I know I'm done. I'm going to do a reverse and that's it. So I'm just using these parts of the machine to help me kind of guide my measurements. So I'm going to do the same to the other end. Get it started right here. Hold my string in the back. Go forward, go back a couple of stitches and then start. And then that's it. I want to finish it. So that's all I wanted. That's about like 1.5 inches or whatever up on each end, because the pocket that we're going to make, you want them to be able to move inside that pocket. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the ironing board and give it a quick iron. Okay, so whatever you do, you don't want to skip this step. You don't want to skip the iron step. This is a very important step. You're going to do it twice in this mask. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this pocket that we just did here. I'm going to make sure that this is at the top, which will be the top of the mask. I'm going to open my ends here, and I'm going to grab the iron and just give it a press right here so that it opens up this little pocket. Okay, this is all going to be in the inside of the pocket, so nobody's going to see any of this. But still, you want to give it a press here, and I just go ahead and press the whole thing. So it should look like that when you're done, and you see the little pocket starting to open up here. Okay, but that's what it's going to look like. All right, this is the tricky part. Once you've pressed your fabric and you've laid these flaps open and then pressed them down, this is where you're going to open your mask and you're going to sew from the inside of the mask through this opening, through the side opening. So you're going to sew this end down. You're going to go ahead and put a straight stitch right there. Okay, and the way I line it up is I use the edge of my foot. I make sure that my needle's moved all the way over. On a brother, that's a setting 5. And it's a 2 straight stitch, and I'm just going to set my foot down here, and then I'm going to hold my thread, move the wheel towards me just so that I get one good stitch in, and now I know I'm in. I'm going to go reverse first couple of stitches, and now I'm on. So I'm just going to start stitching all the way down the edge of this mask. So it's a little tricky. You're going to keep the material flat, keep the edges lined up as best you can. All the way down, inside out here. All right. I'm almost to the end. And once I get almost to the end, I go ahead and manually kind of wheel the needle in the fabric, and I'll give it a 90-degree turn. And I'm just going to square it off. You could go all the way straight if you wanted to, because nobody's going to see that part, but I just like to turn it this way on the fabric. And again, I'm going to go straight down on the other side. I'm going to line it up, line my foot up with the edge of this opening here for the pocket, and make sure my needle goes all the way down the stitch, all the way down the pocket, all the way down. There you go. See, I'm going to do this, just finishing it up this way and then go backwards. You could do it that way, or if you want to put the square end on it, you can too. There you go. You can do that as well. Nobody's going to see that because it's going to be folded in later, but there you go. So from the inside out, you're doing a straight stitch all along this So you see how it's straight stitch on top of that number 3. Okay. Once that's done, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and move my needle back all the way over to a 1. And as you can see, it moves the needle back to this side of the foot. And once it's on that side of the foot, I'm gonna get my needle and go ahead and manually get it in there one time, reverse stitch it, and then let it go forward. And that's gonna be my edge. Do a reverse on there, that's it. All right, do the same thing to the other side, reverse stitch, and going forward. Finish it off. There you go. So there you go, there's the mask, okay? There's the mask with almost all the stitching that we're gonna do. There it is, from the inside out. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this inside out, or right side out, and just push out the corners. You don't have to push too hard. Just get everything nice and square. And you should end up with something like this. Looks like a little pocket bag or whatever, but there's your pocket. That's where people are gonna put their filters and whatnot. And then from here, don't skip this step. Iron it, give it a good flat iron. All right, now your fabric is nice and flat. It's gonna be a lot easier to work with and bringing it through the machine. I'm gonna go ahead and do my crease. I do 1 crease, and with this crease, I hide the pocket. I just hide it, just like that. Okay, this is the back side here. So my mask, I only do 2 creases. People do like 3 or 4 or 5 creases or whatever, but I tend to just do the 2 creases. I do pretty big creases here, and the mask, it pops open anyways. And there we go. So that brings it down to almost about 3 inches, and that's going to be the edge of your mask here. But when you put it on and they pop it open, it accordions it open like that. Here you can also put in a filter. There are pre-made filters that are like 5.5 or 5 inches by 6.5. This pocket is plenty big enough for that. Okay, so what I'm using here is I'm using a piece of PARACORD. So this is 550 cord PARACORD, and it's a 1/8 cord size cord, okay? And basically I just measured it out to 50 inches long. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on the edge of my mask. This is the back side here, there's the pocket, so we're looking at the back side of the mask. I'm gonna put it on the edge of my mask here, and then I'm gonna fold my material over. And that's it. And in the machine, I'm gonna put the stitch right here on the edge. I wanna make sure the foot is lined up so it's not gonna hit the cord, but it's gonna go right alongside the cord. That will allow the cord to move up and down. And that's kind of what makes it adjustable for everybody. So let's go to the machine. I just wanted to show you that concept. Okay, so here we're gonna put our cord and our mask. And this is why it was so important to iron, because the fabric is a lot easier to work with when it's nice and flat. It'll work with you a lot easier. I'm gonna make sure that I put my material just as wide as the foot, and I'm gonna put this rope on the edge of the foot. All right, now if you're working with a thick material, you may have to feed it through a little bit or help it, but this is pretty standard material here. So I'm gonna go ahead and feed it through one time. I'm gonna go reverse stitch and then forward. Now we're going forward. And then reverse stitch. And there you go. So I'm gonna back it up one stitch right there on the edge. And then while the needle is still in the cloth, I'm gonna turn it. I'll make sure that my cord and everything is out of the way, and then go down the there is where I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to get the other end. So this is the bottom in here. I'm just going to get the other end, do the same thing, roll my material over and put it right on top of there. And then I'm going to get my needle to jump up onto this part of the fabric and then stop right about here. So go ahead and get it going. I'll go reverse stitch just to make sure that it's going to be a nice strong stitch right there in the corner. And then again, turn it, open up my foot with the needle inside, turn it 90 degrees so that this rope is right on the edge of the foot, and then put the needle all the way down the rest of the mask here. So I'm gonna go ahead and reverse it. A couple of stitches, extra stitches right there doesn't hurt. It's the edge of the mask. Now I'm gonna go along the top. And reverse it and let it go forward. And that is it, my friends. There's the mask right there. It's done. You got your good strong stitches right here. The cord is completely adjustable. The mask can go up and down. Okay. And the back is our pocket. So if they want to open it up, they can open it up here and they can stuff their filter in there, paper towel, shop towel, things like that. Last thing that I do, this is called a cord stopper. All right. And basically you feed the cord right through here and you put it in here, and that makes it easy to stop. So there's no tying involved. It's a little tough to get in there, but there you go. Once I wiggle it through, I pull it by the cloth, not the white rope in there, the inside of the paracord. Once I get it there, I tie one big knot at the top. Try to cinch it up as close to the top as possible. Cut the little ends off there. Melt the ends of that plastic. That's it. And there you go. So there's my mask. So if you're going to make this mask, the material, the cord stopper, these are all things you can go out and find right now. The cord stopper you may have to order, it may take a while, but I'll leave the links for everything in the description below. If you're going to make it, good luck and thanks for watching.